Hi guys, how are you? Hello, hello, hello. A little impromptu live, I must say. Hold on, I forgot to turn my light on. A little impromptu live. And I am feeling a little nervous, as I said, because I've never done this before. So I'm being very vulnerable. Ever since the last retreat back in November, I've had a light language activation and broke into a sacred dance. And so I'm going to be actually doing some light language today. We are honoring our ancestors. So we're going to start with the light language activation that I'm going to do, which is in honor of of our ancestors. Look, I'm a little tongue tied because I'm a little nervous. So, but before we do that, I have a message from the shadows. These shadows are from the light, okay? Let us be clear. It's dark in here. Dense, fence, circumstance, chance, to fleet and fly, touch the sky, wonder why, to see me, free me. And then I heard the song by The Who. You know the song, I love it. We're going to hear it in just a moment. See me, feel me, touch me, see me. I'm pretty sure I messed up the words, but you know the song. And what was really interesting is as this was all coming in, I was also led to a very interesting circumstance, which I know was meant to be of a lioness. And she was trapped and held captive. And I also heard the rooster, cock-a-doodle-doo, the rooster, and just like with all of this together, I just got really emotional. And I heard it's time to help evacuate. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to honor the ancestors, those who have gone through many pain patterns on our behalf. And so that we can here we go. So we can start new, but also release those shadows and allow them to be liberated. So let's go ahead and get started with the action. Then we'll do the words to honor our ancestors. Here we go. We're not going to play the whole song. I was guided to start at, ironically, I shared the song in the description box at 1111. And when you go into the song, all you see is 11s, 11, 11, 11, and then an 88. So, my friends, we are just aligning to some of the most miraculous energies. It's time to just trust ourselves. And I'm going to be the example. I'm going to trust myself. Even though I don't feel perfectly ready, we're just going to go for it. 333 on the clock. And overall, with those 11, 11, 11, I will tell you, I heard it's time to be one with alchemy. All right, here we go. Listening to you, I get the music, easy back to I get the heat, I'm over you. I climb the mountains, I get excited to be right behind you. I see the millions of you. I see Wow. So as we do 2 minutes of oracle right away there, of not oracle, of light language, it was just so amazing. We're paying tribute to our ancestors today. I've got this new deck, the Druid Animal Oracle deck. So whenever we see this, we're going to be paying tribute to our ancestors. There's a collaboration between us and our ancestors. What I mean is a coming together, working together on the timelines, working together to clear the energies of the past, the energies that keep in the present, so that we can honor and move forward in the future. Wow. Goosebumps. Goosebumps. Hey, what's up, Michael Deeds? So, leaning into something new. Wasn't really prepared for it, but let's go. I pre shuffled. How beautiful that I have the raven here on bottom. We're honoring our ancestors. We are actually in the week, if you catch this now, sooner than later. We're literally in the 2-week time period of the raven's very close cousin, which are the magpies. Which is really we're just healing in so many different ways, y'all. It's amazing. So let's go ahead and talk about what are some of these patterns, what are these pain patterns specifically that we are collaborating with the ancestors to release. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look. I'm being guided to do 2 shuffles, okay, to find out how we're collaborating. Then we're going to go ahead and do 5 cards for the shift in the pain patterns. And we are, since this is new for all of us, we're going to go ahead and read every single card from and collaborate with the author on that. All right, Michael says, I think I was Wile E. Coyote in a past life. How's that for pain? Yeah, that sounds extremely painful, but at least you always bounce back, right? So that's amazing. And I love that you kind of brought that up, actually, Michael, because it really takes me immediately to in the excerpt that we did, light language is related to Tommy, okay, the movie Tommy, which is really an incredible movie, and gosh, that's a whole oracle all in itself, right? And because he was the boy in the bubble, right? And he broke free. Oh, wow. Ooh, hits me right here. Ooh, okay. And then there was this correlation in the message from the shadows. Touch the sky. I just couldn't, I kept going over and over and over. And so I Googled it and I found that Touch the Sky was in the movie Brave. And it's where Merida, in the movie Brave, she breaks free from the castle. She's like, finally, I have a day to myself. She feels free. And this song is playing, and it's a tribute to the freedom that we feel. But at the same point in time, the freedom that we feel or not being liberated yet is really a collective expression that transverses to all timelines, as all have always stepped up in the battle cry to work together for their families, their communities, and really the highest good of all. So I just love that. When I was a boy, I saw Travolta in that bubble. Wow, that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Yeah, I remember watching that movie at a very, very young age. I think, am I mixing them up? I don't think so. No, it's the 2 movies together, right? So, yeah, I definitely remember, and I remember like being a little confused, but also being very drawn. So, yeah, that was super cool. I'm so happy you're here. Welcome to everybody who's here. Let's go ahead and get into it. What's the magic that the ancestors? What's up, KK? If you just missed it, but we just did some light language. So when we're done, if you want to go back to the beginning, there is a light language transmission, my first one. So I have a feeling this is the way it's going to be. As you guys know, the music always drops. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. We're definitely in the right space. Let's take a couple shuffles. Oh, the dog. How can we be loyal to ourselves? I'm really feeling, okay, there's so much going on here, but this is the energy. Look at in the background. It's like those who have gone before. How can we be loyal to ourselves? And many of us with this daisy here, many of us, the daisy actually pairs with canvasite and apophyllite. I'm literally seeing the crystal image, the crystal card in my other oracle in my mind's eye. It's actually number 55. I'm literally seeing it. And it's such a powerful combination of really stepping into your power, because at the center, 11:55 on the clock. Hello, let's go. In that center of that daisy, that's our power in the center. And a lot of people will take that daisy and, pluck. Does he love me? Does he love me not? Does he love me? Does he love me not? And it's like, you don't have to ever wonder that. Be loyal to yourself. Remember like the energy of the dog. Okay. It's like, no matter what's going on, your dog comes to greet you, no matter what's happening. Right. So that is just so powerful. And, and then also here, gosh, I really love this. I'm not sure if it's a peony. Okay, but we have this other beautiful flower. So seeds are being planted. Let's see. Marie says, "Hi, beautiful Michelle. You got this, my friend. Oh, sending you energy and encouragement. I love that." Michael says in numerology, you're a 5. Ooh, you're the adventurer. Okay, that makes sense to me. Thank you, Marie. We did some light language at the beginning. I was a little nervous, but it went really, really great. So we're just kind of sinking a little bit more into this message about how we can honor our ancestors. How, as the shadows said, and I'm getting to read it again, let us be clear, it's dark in here. Dense, fence, circumstance, and chance to fleet and fly, touch the sky, wonder why, to see, free me. And that is, of course, when I heard the song, Hey Marie, what's up? You guys, I really need to get these eyes fixed, okay? And I know that we're all just like, as happening for one is happening for all. So it's like, as I'm stepping into something new and exciting and a little nerve-wracking, like butterflies, and as there's so much change, and it's like, gosh, don't you just feel like you need to step forward in faith and just keep moving? This is really the energy that has always gone before us, right? Yeah. Ooh, we got a couple life paths. So let's just add that 55. It's my daughter. My daughter just walked in. Okay. So next card, there it is. We want to be free. We're ready. We're ready to feel the sun on our face. We're ready to, see what has gone in the past, but also to make it into wisdom, right? Not the thing that holds us back. Are you ready for this journey? Are you ready to be guided? Are you ready for your ancestors to show you the way, right? So actually, yeah, guys, I know you said hi, Jordan. What's so amazing is that's my other daughter, Gabby. So she's my 23-year-old. Jordan's my little one. And then I have an older son as well. Michael says, my wife was a dumpster fire, been sober for I thought you said my wife. Ooh, Michael, does that mean something? KK says, I'm so ready. Yes. Been sober for 4 years. Congratulations, my friends. Every day, right? Every day is a new day. And it's just like, Here it is. We're starting on bottom. This is what we're collectively talking about. The bee actually represents so much for me in so many ways, but it's time for us to really understand and collaborate with this author, okay? Because these are the Druid cards and their meanings are a little different. I already know that we've shared this before, and this is one of the cards we shared before. And so this is really about developing a community. A community is so important. And when I shared the picture, I shared a picture of a druid doing a ceremony for August. So, doesn't it kind of sound like part of our challenge at hand is to align to a community that will allow us to see and have vision, being heart centered? Potentially that's here. Potentially you're going to start your own. Potentially you'll wander into that as you still have time to go with us to Utah. Okay, I put the details in the comments below. But here's what the bee wants to talk about. Okay, we're talking about be at. Keywords: community, celebration, organization. The BIAC invites us to celebrate. You may have a special reason for celebration, or maybe a simple need to celebrate the wonder and the mystery of being alive. In the Druid tradition, there are occasions to celebrate every 6 weeks or so. That sounds great to me. As human beings, we need times when we come together to enjoy each other's company. The bee tells us that we can live together in harmony. However, impossible this may sometimes seem, by being at one with the natural world, by paying homage to the sun, by centering our lives around spirit or the goddess, which is you within, we can work together in community. And I really love this because I want to kind of morph it forward, but I want to go ahead and share KK's comment here. I had a huge bee land on me yesterday and always see birds everywhere every day, but today I've only been visited by one lone crow. Oh my gosh. That is like super goosebumpy to me right now, to be honest. That is amazing. I love that. Oh, wow. What I think is really cool about this bee as we're coming out of winter solstice, right? Now we're into the spring equinox, although wherever you are, it may not feel like it. There is something that happens, and the queen bee, the one with the wings, the queen, she leaves the hive, and it is her responsibility, if you will, to start anew, to start a new community. And I just think that this is really a message coming here. And how does this community, what does that look like for you? How does it support your home? How does it support your foundation? How does it allow you to feel infinite abundance? More than just money, okay? Because the bees, they created the first money, right? The honey never goes bad. It's got no expiration date, right? It's amber, it's filled with nectar, and we are everything. And so in so many ways we are the same. But it's like all these pain patterns have gotten in the way, all these stripes, all these wars, all these different reinforcements throughout the years in our lives and those who have gone before us of strife and slavery, and in so many ways, never really being able to truly manifest the heart's desire. And that just seems really, really, really related. All right, so let's look. We've got another blackbird. Okay. Now, of course, we saw the raven. That's where we started. We've got the blackbird here. And of course, that just reminds me of so many things, including the beautiful song by Paul McCartney. Blackbird. If you haven't had an opportunity to sing it, to, I'm actually got is it right here? I do. Okay, hold on. I want to show you. Oh, it's not here. It's okay. It's across the room. Um, but that song is so beautiful, and it's a tribute to his mother. How can we pay tribute to our ancestors? How can we pay tribute to our mother, and not just our mother, but their mother and their mother and their mother? How can we see the benefit of the womb? How can we pay tribute to our Mother Earth, who really is the mother in the womb for all of us? And the message here, it seems very clear. It's by singing our soul song. It's by following our stars. It's allowing these new beginnings. And it's getting off the cycles of the past and starting fresh and anew. And it's like, look at right here, this cave. It just looks like a heart shape to me. And it's like, that's the key. The keys lie within us. The keys lie within us. So beautiful. And then look at what we have here. We have the runes here. Okay, over here, I'm going to point. We see this F, that's the fuhu, which has to do with abundance. So it's like, as long as we can whistle while we work, ba-da-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum, as long as we can see the perspective. But it's like for most of us, we try our best. We're coming to a time where we can finally release those deep shadows that hold us back. That's what's so empowering. So let's see what the Blackbird has to say. Okay. And what I actually am really feeling here is like, this is like, okay, the Driddu is what this is called. And this is what I love. I was feeling, because this feels very related to being the message that keeps coming over and over and over with the Earth Star chakra. And it's like we're being planted. We're planted where we are. And it's like, see the dirt, see the nutrients, allow it to nourish your soul so that you can pop through. And see how we see the night there? Okay. It's like we've been planted. And it's like at the same point in time, how can we truly not only survive, but how can we thrive and grow? The keywords here are enchantment, the gateway, the inner call. Du, I'm probably saying that wrong, but I'm going to try my best. Du calls us from the gateway between two worlds, urging us to follow the spiritual path to become more self-aware. He calls us in the twilight, showing us the path of otherworldly secrets, pointing out the ways in which we can discover more about our hidden motivations and potential. There are times in our life when it's important to concentrate on the outer world and your responsibilities in that world. But, and I knew it was coming, but there are also times when you must attend to the haunting song of your soul, which calls you to study spiritual truths, an exploration of the inner world through dreams and myths. In heeding Druido's song, you will discover healing and new depths of your soul. And that's what we're saying, that the key is through your heart chakra, and really healing that wound. And it feels like the wound of the mother. Okay, it really, really does. And how can we bring that into balance? How can we let the leaves fall? Right? That's what I'm seeing here. How can we let the leaves fall? How can we let the night come, knowing and feeling in part of our rhythms and part of the patterns that we developed, that the sun will shine again, right? That the sun will shine again. Wow. Okay, take a look here. This is the ram who climbs, right? The ram who can be on narrow edges. And I love that there's three of them really calling in this balance, climbing to heights. And this was such the message through all that we've shared. In that part of the video that I shared with you from Tommy, he's literally climbing up a waterfall. In the movie Brave, when they play that song, Touch the Sky, she's literally climbing a waterfall. Okay. And it's like you've been climbing this pinnacle. We all have. This is a collective message. We've been climbing in so many ways to find our balance. Ooh, there's actually a fourth one. There's babies. Finding our balance, right? Allowing ourselves to take care of our families, our structure. Look at that. We've got another bird there leading us, chirping its way. Okay. And it's just like there's so much energy here. I love what they're showing in the rocks here. It's like, yeah, there's that snake. And this snake is the one that's trying to trick us, trying to zap us in so many ways, right? But there's a whitening going on here. We're waking up to this. We're seeing things in a new light. Look, it literally looks like a sideways heart there. Look, it's so beautiful. We're seeing with the eyes of our heart. We're really starting to have vision in a whole new way, right? So let's see what the author has to say here about the ram. This energy feels really, really, and we're talking about pain patterns, right? So the first pain pattern is to really find our individuality, to find our soul song, and to go within. Everything we need is here. The second pain pattern is about the ram. And if you think about that, the ram is a male sheep, right? And it's like, and in many ways, there's so many messages coming in related to this. Okay, so let's just go ahead and kind of narrow things down by reading the card so that we can actually pull the message that is really of our highest good for this particular oracle. Okay, the Rehu is what they call it in Druid, the ram. Sacrifice, breakthrough, achievement. The Rehu or the ram brings the ability to achieve a breakthrough attached to its place of birth. The ram represents connection, rootedness, stability, and yet also with the power to penetrate, overcome, and achieve. Working with the ram is your ally, will help you find your inner strength and your need to succeed. At the same time, you need not fear losing your head. On the dizzy heights of success, because the ram will help you keep you grounded and you will remind you of the practical necessities of life. By persevering, being patient, and attending to your daily life as well as your future goals, you will find the day comes with you to achieve a breakthrough, reaching your goals and discovering that you have come home. What a beautiful message. Because what we're seeing here, what I'm seeing here as this pain pattern, is that in our current society, and this is just what's coming forward, the story that's coming forward is we're told to strive, we're told to climb, we're told, in a lot of ways to Pollyanna things, that it will all work out. Just keep climbing, just keep going. Okay. And that is beautiful. And it really is beautiful. However, and if we have these deep down toxicities and we continue to run in the opposite direction, if we continue to do what others expect, right? If we continue to allow the shepherd to give us direction, which I don't see on this card, then in many ways, we're not really coming home. And so this is the message. It's not about the flock. It's about you, your structure, your individuality, and your family. And it's like, as you get that in order, whatever it looks like to you, It doesn't matter what others think. It doesn't matter as long as you can find that infinite abundance, as long as you have vision with your heart, okay? As long as you are intentional. That's what these whitenings always signify to me, okay? And it's like there's the sparrow is whistling for you and guiding you. You have so many guides, okay? So many guides showing you the way. Allow the music to guide you. And I also feel like I wish I knew what some of these plants were in the background. I'm going to discover them because, of course, that has so much wisdom, right? So much wisdom, as the plants are the energy that we're putting out, right? Are the energies that we're putting out. So let's go ahead and go into the third card, the wisdom of the magpie. There's only one card in this deck, and it represents the current animal wisdom. So if you haven't had a chance, you need to run over to the Magpie Oracle. It was simply beautiful. It's all about a battle cry, okay? It's all about the battle cries of the past coming up to help liberate these shadows, if you will. And remember, these shadows are of the light, they are ready to be let go. We are collectively on this 55 journey. We have a lot of oracle related to this. We're collectively rooting in, okay? Because in a lot of ways, with our current technology, our current lifestyles, it's really easy to get ungrounded. It's really easy to get unfocused. And a lot because we're really, triggered to take care of our family, to make sure we can pay the bills, right? All these things. But it's just so interesting that when you go through experiences over and over and over that try to interrupt that, it seems to me that in order to really release, and this is for the boy, let's hear it for the boy. Oh, wow. I love that song. Okay. How can we work in tandem with others? I'm getting really in groups of three. Okay. How can we sing our song? How can we live the joy? How can we can release these pain patterns of the magpie? Because the magpie, the biggest story is everyone thinks they work for the devil. Not everybody, but that's a big thing about them. But they're actually bringing a message about how the pain pattern to fight, to continually fight and fight and fight. It's not about the fight, even though we feel the battle cry. It is about mustering our passion, but expanding that into compassion, into surrender. This is what true collaboration is with your spirit team, with our Father Almighty, with Mother Earth, is truly to be in a state of surrender. And this is something that we really have a difficult time with. Many of our ancestors of the past really could deal with maybe that in totally different ways, totally different circumstance, but they didn't have some of the interference, although they did, with wars and I am getting they've got a lot of interesting energies coming through, but it's like it's all kind of the same thing. It's like we are now here, and in many ways, we're still dealing with these same grievances. Okay. So the magpie comes together in four, which is all about the divine masculine really rising into that surrender. And that's one of the actions that we can take. When life throws you that pain pattern, it wants to throw you into that abyss of emotions and mental instabilities and fear and anxiety. How can we come here? How can we see past it? How can we see and attune to the energies coming to be released? Okay. So, it's not easy. It is not easy, which is why it's so important to be part of a community that reminds you, that supports you, that collaborates with you so that you can keep your eye on the prize moving forward. So that it's like look at we've talking about the the ram here, and it's like you're already bent on the climb. You already have your sights. So why continue to climb when you already know what you want? And if you don't, I feel you do. Just quiet the noise because the magpies, their chatter is because in a lot of ways we're influencing them. What I mean is they've got a bad name in some places like Australia and etc. But I'm going to tell you what, as beloved as they are, we're infringing on their living space. They're letting us know they're being territorial. How can we honor our own living space? How can we honor really what true abundance is and not what the Joneses told us, right? Not what we've been told. Does that make sense? I'd love to hear your reflection there. So much is happening at night, actually. So much. Really take a look at this. There's so much on this card, but what I'm really noticing more than anything is the ivy. This has been and the ivy, and then also the whitening on this particular owl's face, which really has been a message that I've been so happy to receive lately. And it's like the ivy as it climbs, it really can get really thick and knotted. Do you see? And it's like in a lot of ways, it can be destructive. And so, in so many ways, this is the pain pattern. It's like we have this undertow, this growth of energies. I'm getting, related to those emotions, related to those emotions. And those emotions in turn affect the mental body. And so, in lots of different ways, we're exploited. Okay, we're exploited to these energies, but it's like it's time to wake up and to see that it has nothing to do with outside of us. How can we perch and observe? How can we go within? How can we get our meditation on? How can we? This morning, I had the most incredible, I'm not going to call it a dream, I'm going to call it a vision. I've had several of them, and I got right up, and it put me right into some sacred work and really understanding and undoing. How is that happening for you? How can you get up and go straight to your journal before you forget? Okay? How can you see things from other perspective? Wow. So, notice this ornament hung here. Okay, a node to the past, the skeletons of the past, how, what has gone before has died, but yet it's still hanging around. Okay, and this is just a constant message that's coming in on this channel, especially because many of you who are attracted to this channel are actually ancestral healers. Okay, and you mystics in yourself, stepping into areas that nobody else really knows. And that's what makes it really kind of challenging is that, it's like sometimes it's hard and challenging to be the first. But the owl says to you, how can we release the pain pattern? How can we release the pain pattern of feeling stifled, of feeling crowded out? We're talking here about detachment, about wisdom and change. Owl teaches us of the wisdom of turning a disadvantage into an advantage. Wow. And that's literally what I was talking about. This morning, I was being shown a little bit more clarity into my experience, which is just like so crazy. I can't even really go into it right now. I'm sure it's going to be a book. Who knows? Maybe a movie. Okay. But it's pretty crazy. And I'm sure many of you have the same experience in a different way. As like I said, as we all experience things in so many different ways. But it's like this circumstance, which I've cried many tears, I've been angry, I've been bargaining, I've been wanting to give up along the way. But I can honestly tell you that what I thought was one of the worst things to ever happen to me, which started with what I call a psychic attack. Um, and I'm starting to learn a little bit more of a knowing that I'm that sensitive. I picked up on the energy and I've been chewing on it ever since. And it's allowed me to step into healing with light language, and crystals and attunements, and really using so many different um, basket of tools, if you will. Okay, many of them which I have never been familiar with, and just really trusting. For most birds, coming of the darkness renders it impossible for them to feed, but the owl's exceptional hearing enables them to pick out and to swoop on unsuspecting prey during the night. Twilight has been described as the owl's light. Interesting, my stomach has a little bit of a turn going, okay? Um, Twilight has been described as the owl's light, and going for a quiet walk in the woods at this shimmering time of twilight is an excellent way to develop a sense of the other world and your inner soul of nature. You may feel drawn to the study of esoteric lore and clairvoyancy. Working with the owl as your ally will help you do exactly this. Wow. Okay. So that's what I was feeling here. Okay, see this energy around the bridge of the nose, around the crown, if you will. Okay. There is a whitening here, which means what? Whenever I say there's a whitening, it means that there's a decrease in the reactionary impulses of your literal nervous system, okay, which the moon does exploit us on. Because as we're talking about honoring our ancestors, many pain patterns are attributed to the moon. Many pain patterns attributed to moon, many pain patterns attributed to the sun. Okay. And if you are, most of us are pretty awakened to the fact that the moon and the sun are portals in themselves. And here we just had this brilliant solar eclipse. And that's kind of a moment where they can butt up to one another and really, transmute those energies um, in so many beautiful ways. Okay. So here we are literally in the energy of the eclipse. And we're talking about all of this. And it's really activating so many of you. And the pain pattern that's being released is the pain pattern where you don't think you're good enough, where you don't think you can make it, where you feel, kind of lost. Like some of you, okay, not all of you, but there's quite a bit of you here that feel choked out, that feel blocked, that give their power away because you don't understand. Because not that you don't understand. Okay, I want to really watch my words. I don't want to trigger, but because you're meant to go a little bit deeper within. Okay, deeper within to discover your individual tune, going through that heart healing, that divine feminine, really allowing for inspired action, the coming of not just receiving, but also taking proper action that aligns with you, that aligns with you. And sometimes we get stuck in our own way. Sometimes we block ourselves because we forget to take a moment to observe. We forget to take a moment to see things from another perspective. Okay. So, how can we really expand our heart and really know that we're all going through this in some capacity. Okay. And some are having more difficultness with the emotions, and some are having a lot of difficulties in with the mental part. And I think we can all agree that we probably all know someone who suffers with what we would deem as mental illness. And I think there's so much more to be discovered there. This is actually a very important part of my work, not only for myself, for my family. I am a nurse by trade, for the community as a whole. I feel that there is so much more going on there that we're going to awaken to. And as we tend to all in our community, and as we remember that we're building something together, it's going to be even easier to see things from different perspectives. And not only see them, but to capture the wisdom, to see their story, their circumstance, and to allow you to put yours in perspective. Because so many of us, I was talking about this with Jordan, so many of us feel, and myself included, we feel like there's more. We feel like, we're not living abundantly. But I want to tell you something. Like, it may not be a mansion, but I'm in a warm home with heat on. I have water that goes through my faucet. Yeah, maybe it might be hard to get the right meal right now because I need to go grocery shopping, but I have a refrigerator full of food, a fruit bowl full of fruit. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, we take things so for granted of what true abundance is. So how can you perch yourself? How can you go within, block the emotions, and don't see yourself as caught in a web? How can you see what true abundance is? How can you observe it? How can you see the smiles on your children? I mean, one of the times that I love so much is going to the park and just watching the kids. I'm a big people watcher. I have to admit it. I really am. And I just see people do so many surprising things. So this is the structure, the pain pattern. It's like, if we want to really undo and pay tribute to all that our ancestors have gone through, how can we see things from their perspective? How can we see the blessings? How can we sink into our breath, take a moment to observe, right? And then we have the frog. I love it because these are new cards for me. So we're exploring these together. There's so much going on here. And this is really the pain pattern of coming out of the emotion, really allowing ourselves to understand that we are transformed. And all we need, I love this because it's really connecting to the immersion. If you are so connecting to this message, I really feel that you're going to love the immersion because it's a coming together of ancestors, to be honest. That's who we are for one another. So, as we collaborate and pay honor to our ancestors, we really pay honor and collaborate to each of us that is transforming and ready to transition, transforming and ready to transition and take a leap of faith. Okay? Take a leap of faith moving forward. Look at the mushrooms, this rich golden color. Okay? I love these cards. I think they're really beautiful. So let's go ahead and see what the message is as we start to learn about these cards a little bit more, because the messages from the Druid, the message, and I want to share a message actually in this book, because many of us go, I have lots of shamanic oracle related to like the Indian and the the Indian, the shaman, the indigenous. But what I really like about this particular oracle is this is actually paying tribute and honor to those of us who came from Europe, like myself. Okay. So I'm Nordic. My whole family can be traced back to the Vikings. And it's like, in order to cross over and to really integrate the energies of all and of the many and the all, we also need to do some healing of those timelines when things got really kind of out of hand. A lot of finger pointing, a lot of retaliation, a lot of competition. And what kept the druids, because many of them were judged, right, for their beliefs, what kept them together more than anything were their celebrations and their sense of community. Okay, so as we talk about the frog, okay, the lost can. I love that. The lost can. Okay, that makes so much sense. We're talking about sensitivity. Yes, medicine, hidden beauty, and power. So the lost can unites the elements of water and earth, bringing joy, delight, and healing in its singing and hopping and leading you to the sacred spring from which you may be refreshed and renewed. A cold blooded creature living half on the land and half in the water, the frog possesses an extremely sensitive skin. It's actually considered magical by shamans. Let's bring that in a little bit. Okay. A companion of the rain spirits, the frog can help you develop your sensitivity to others, to healing, and to sound through your skin and your whole body and aura. Nothing is what it appears to be, and life is more fun when you find at first suppose. Let me read that again. Nothing is what appears to be, and life is more fun than you at first supposed. There's a hidden beauty and a hidden power in all of nature. Agreed. And as you open yourself up to this, feel close to the goddess and close to both the earth and to the water. Look for the beauty and the magic behind appearances. And I'm literally in my mind's eye just saw the story of the frog prince, how the frog was kissed and poof, turned into the prince. And so as we look with different perspective, right? This pain pattern coming forward here is, how can we feel comfortable in our own skin? How can we allow ourselves to be renewed? But also, these mushrooms are really talking to me. They're really like, I'm hearing like a bell. Okay. So, okay, first of all, that's a note to some meditation going within to allow this metamorphosis for some of you. But also, what I think is so beautiful is, okay, I'm getting it in my mind's eye. There's this like device, maybe you've seen it on Facebook, where you like plug it into the mushroom and it literally plays a song. And it's like everything has frequency, and frequency is song, and frequency is what literally changes our experience. So if you want a different experience, how can you work with your ancestors to increase your frequency? Changing your vibration is not enough, my friends. Okay? Changing your vibration is great, but it's fleeting. Okay? If we want to be sustainable, if we want to sustain our experience, it's all about changing our frequency. It's all about tuning in to the messages of the all, the ancestors, the animals, the crystals, the plants, yourself, and your community as a whole. Because you see, the biggest change that we're going through is we're realizing that the hive, it's just not working for us. Okay? We don't really want to be stuck in our cell. We don't really want to have to do the work to continue this, to sustain the repeating patterns. This queen bee right here, she's already spotted her new home. She already sees things in a new light. She's ready to do something very different. And that's what I love here. She sees the stripe. She sees the stripes of the past. Look at. She honors the ancestors who have gone before. And she sees by paying homage to all the elements that this is really what's in stone for all of us. This is really, as I see her right here, I'm so drawn to this energy right here on the back of this queen bee. Okay? On the back, that shadow, it's like, feels like this shadow energy that really makes us feel that we're only meant to do one thing. My friends, you are unlimited. This is the message of the bee. The bee doesn't even know it can't fly, and yet it does. Miracles happen every single day. It's time to leave the hive behind. It's time to feel renewed. It's time to really refocus, to find those ingredients that we need so that we can align to coming home, so that we don't have to always climb and climb and climb, that we can come home and just allow ourselves to guide us there. And that home is really what? Seeing and having vision in a heart-centered space. Speaking of, that's my husband. So I feel like we've done everything we were meant to do today. I just want to check in real quick. The shadows brought this message forward, understanding that there are shadows of the light. And I'm being called to remind you that we're rooting in, that you are the referee. We're no longer learning so much from the duality of black and white. We're infusing the color, which is really segments of the black to begin with, because black is all color. So we're really starting to understand that a lot of the shadows, we've created them. And they've been created by those who have gone before us. And the biggest reason that we've created them is because of fear and because of thinking all those different subconscious thoughts, like we're not good enough, that we're not worthy, that if it's meant to be, it'll be, believing in fate and in destiny. And it's like the bee, you know what she shows us? Literally in this card and in this moment, she shows us that everything is possible. Everything. So I ask the shadows of the light, are there any other messages that you want to showcase today on this oracle? I'm getting a no. We've done our job. So if you've enjoyed this space, give it a like. It really helps with the algorithms. I'm not attached to how many people are on this page, or what I am. I'm actually not attached to anything, but what I will say I'm grateful for is for you right there, that you found this. And I'm even more grateful that not only did you find this, but it resonated, because I'm ready to create this community for myself, and I'm certainly here to empower others to do the same. So thank you for joining me today. We will talk to you all very soon. I saw 100, 11, 11, 100% done. It's time to align to this mindset, to something new, to see things in a new way. We'll see you all in the flip. This was so amazing. I know I'll be back soon. If you are interested in information related to the immersion in Utah, oh my gosh, honestly, I would love to have you. It is a coming together of four of us: Jackie, myself, Jolene, and Trish. You can see us in some of the collaboration videos, and we're going to be back. We are super excited to do another episode of Money Talks, the fourth one. And so you want to watch for that. That'll be coming on Monday. Okay. No, 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 not Monday. On Friday. On Friday. Not this Friday. What day are we on? The 10th. So yeah, it actually might be this Friday evening. So keep watch. We'll go ahead and share in the community board. All right. Thanks, y'all. And if you haven't had a chance, go check out the Oracle, the Magpie. It's amazing. We'll see you all soon.